Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another live stream here on the YouTube channel. Coming back with a little message on the death of George Floyd, but before I begin, I'm going to check the audio. Back with a little message on the death. Okay, so it looks like our audio is good. Again, I am coming back with a live video tonight with a little note on the tragic events and unacceptable events that happened on May 25th. Racial violence, very unacceptable violence. A lot of people are are rioting and are showing their reactions to this. It is very understandable. We're all human, okay? There's really nothing different about us. Whether that be skin color, sexuality, different beliefs. We are all humans, and we all should be accepted. It's very sad to live in a world where not everybody goes along with equality, that we are all equal, and it doesn't matter who we are. There's very sad things that happen in this world, and sadly this is one of them, simply because people just have to be a racist. People they just can't accept others for who they are, right? They think that they're different, but they're not. We're all the same, okay? It's something that we all should be cool with, but we're not. Because why? Well, there's a title of racism out there. That's the title to why this is not the case when it should be. When people should come together in large groups and be accepting to all people, no matter their beliefs, their religion, their skin color, their backgrounds, all those things, right? We should all come together. Not coming together as, oh, that person is different, so I'm not going to be hanging out with them. I'm not going to be friends with them. I'm not going to date them. I'm not going to do this and that because, oh, look at their skin color. Look at their beliefs. Look at their religion. Look at their backgrounds. That's the type of sick world that we live in with people like that. Sadly, that's the case. It's something that shouldn't be the case, but it is. Let me check my volume again, because the last live stream that I did, the volume really sucked. It's something that shouldn't be the case, but it is. Okay, so the volume is working out good. But, before I conclude or start to conclude with this live stream, I want to read something that has been posted on Facebook. It's about love. Yes, we all need to love each other. We're all the same. We're all equal. That should be accepted, right? And there are people that don't accept that. Very unfortunate, very ignorant, very unacceptable, I know. But here is something that has been getting posted on Facebook, and I just wanted to point it out. I will read the whole thing. There may be a word or two, though, that I don't know, so just bear with me with my reading skills here. But it is titled "We Need to Love," and then it really gets into what happened on May 25th. Excuse me. I posted on Facebook. A few other people posted as well. I got it off a friend's timeline on my Facebook, who used to be one of my teachers. But it is read as, so I'll start reading it. A man was pressed down onto concrete with a solid 200 pounds sitting directly on his neck. He cried out for water. He cried out for his deceased mother, and once he realized he could no longer breathe, he cried out for mercy, and he begged for his life. His nose bled, and he lost control of his bladder, yet he remained trapped and handcuffed under the weight of an officer's knee. Onlookers tried to intervene, only to be threatened with pepper spray. Even when he lost consciousness, the weight of that knee stayed firm on his neck. When first responders demanded they check for a pulse, the cops refused. When off-duty medical personnel begged for the officer to get up, they refused. America watched a man being killed in broad daylight for 10 minutes. I understand people will dig through everything he's done wrong in his life. I understand that people will roll their eyes at this. I will see this mugshot, and he will become a villain, even though surveillance video does not support police claims that he resisted arrest. But there is no crime that justifies this punishment, whether he has a criminal history or mental health issues. There is no justification for his death. His name was George Floyd, and there's a hashtag going around, hashtag justice for George Floyd, as you see in the title there. We are, in fact, angry in America. We're angry in Canada, and of course, there's more than likely to be other countries angry as well. We are angry for the right reasons here. This should not have took place. Racism, racist words should not be tolerated. But some people say them and they get away with it. And that should not be the case. Okay, because they're not tolerated. They're not tolerated. Racist words, racist sentence, racist paragraphs. Anything that relates to or is the word racist, it's not tolerated. It's not to be accepted. If you do hear someone say something racist, report them. They should not be saying something that is racist. They should not be saying something that is hurtful towards another culture or another piece of diversity. This was unacceptable. This was not tolerated. This violence wasn't. We all mourn this death, unfortunately. You know, we are in a pandemic. It's not like we need something like this anyway. But it happens because look at the big sick world we live in. Yeah, it's big and it's sick out there. And hopefully someday we can all come together and we can all accept each other for whom we are, and not have so much hate and negativity, and have more positive, right? Because if you do know the channel here, if you do watch this channel, you know that this YouTube channel, we don't tolerate racism. We don't tolerate any attacks against other groups of people. We look towards the positive rather than the negativity that happens out there. And unfortunately, look, we have it. We still have it around us, right? We still have racism. We still have unacceptable violence and behavior. And it really is unacceptable, and not it's not something that is to be tolerated. My thoughts, my prayers, my deepest condolences and sympathy goes out to George Floyd's family, and friends and supporters, right? Because he has many supporters since this tragic, unacceptable, negative event, violence took place, right? He has a lot of supporters, and that's a good thing, right? We should be supporting here. I'm a supporter. I hope you are, right? I'm a mourner. I'm sure you're mourning the death of George Floyd right now. I do encourage not just me to fly flags at half-mast, but if you have a flag, to lower it as well. You know, I think that his death should be recognized, right? It should be honored in a way with lowering flags, right? I know I've already have my flags at half-mast for a firefighter, a lifetime member of the fire department here in my town, but unfortunately I have them at half-mast also for George Floyd, and that's very heartbreaking because that should not be the case. George Floyd should still be alive. Those officers, though, they're gonna get something. Yes, they should be getting the death penalty because of this. Some people will say that they should be arrested. Yeah, something has to be done, okay? Because this is really not to be tolerated. This is not acceptable. And, I know that the U.S. president is looking into it, and that's a good thing, right? All of these ways of positivity coming out from, in the wake of this event, these are all good things, right? That the president is looking into it, that these officers are, fired, right? They are fired. Them are good things, but let's just hope that we hear more that is being done on the news, because it really shouldn't be left alone. Again, justice for George Floyd. Please be with me with that, right? Justice for George Floyd. Let's spread that hashtag. That's important in the wake of all this. And yes, we need justice in this situation. So, you know, again, violence like this, not tolerated. It's unacceptable. It's very hurtful. It's very upsetting to hear of violence like this, and that this should not happen. We are all one, okay? We are all one. We should accept each other. We should all come together as one. And we shouldn't have violence like this. We shouldn't have, hate like this. We should have positivity towards all groups of people, and happiness and fun towards all groups of people. It's not just the race, right? It is all groups of people. It is gays, it is transgenders, it is transsexuals. It's anyone who chooses to be on the different side of things. It's that too, right? It's not just race. We all should come together, right? Because it's important. I know that I helped raise speaking of the transgender groups out there, I helped raise a transgender flag at my school back in November, right? Right? Because we should support all people, right? We should support groups of people and not have hate, right? But definitely racism, not acceptable, okay? Not to be tolerated here. And it is very upsetting that this happened. It's very not to be tolerated, right? And I'm sure that it won't happen again. I'm sure that those riots are really speaking to a lot of people in the wake of all this. And good things though are to be wished for in the future, right? Things like this, we don't want things like this happening, right? It's very terrible that something like this has to occur. But if you do want to continue to show your support for this YouTube channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated. Comment below on what you think of this event, this devastating tragedy. Just comment below on what you think of it, and let me know how you're feeling. But the links and information are in the description. That story there that I read, that Facebook post that I read, that's also in the description as well. And we really want justice for George Floyd. I really do, and I'm sure you do too, want justice for this. It's really not acceptable. But thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video here on the YouTube channel, whenever that will be. Thank you for watching, and I will, yes, let's have peace, right? Peace is important too. So thank you for watching, and peace out.